Hey and aloha, people. So Kate here from Kate Mac Stock. I am just going to chat with you for a bit today about how to seamlessly integrate styled stock photos into your feeds, into your websites, into your general online presence. So the first thing I would say that it's good to pay attention to is color. You know your brand, you know your business, you know what your branding colors are or what colors resonate with you. So the first thing to really think about when choosing styled stock photos to integrate is what colors are you going to allow into your online presence? What's allowed, what's not allowed? And I think having a really good mental hold on what colors you want to include and what you'd rather not have in your feed and on your website allows you to really be able to quickly say yes or no to styled stock photos that you may come across, that you may be thinking about integrating into your feed. So thinking about colors is important, but also paying attention to neutrals. So I am always on the hunt for neutral props, neutral locations, because what's magical about neutrals is that they can be integrated into any branding scheme. Any color scheme that you have, if it's a neutral image, you can usually incorporate it. And when I'm talking about neutrals, this is Kate's opinion on neutrals, is that it includes the obvious, like whites, grays, blacks, like there are more than one blacks. Anyway, and then I'm pretty inclusive of metallic colors generally. I think hyper trendy ones like rose gold, I don't steer completely away from, but I don't incorporate a huge amount. But usually mixed metals, I would say fit into the neutral category. But I also am happy to include navies, like fairly desaturated navies, desaturated blushes, and any natural green. So any green that's appearing in nature, I consider fairly neutral. Now, some people don't always consider blues or pinks neutral, and that's fine. But you can kind of decide for yourself what is an acceptable neutral based on your business's color palette. I would encourage you also to consider the general white balance of images, because images can be considered cool or warm depending on how they're shot, the lighting of where they're shot. And so really paying attention to images that might be really warm or really cool and really blue, because those, while the colors within them might be neutral or might match your brand, if they're significantly warmer or cooler than the other images you have within your feeds and within your website, it can look non-congruent. So pay attention to the white balance of the images you're bringing in. And we strive to, as we're editing our images from our shoots, we try to keep our whites white and our blacks black. So we don't apply really warm or really cool filters or presets to our images, because we want our customers to be able to apply whatever warmth or coolness that is particular to their brand, and we want our images to be kind of a neutral starting place for them. The second thing that I would encourage you to think about to create consistency is whether or not a single filter or a single preset applied to all the images that you post publicly might help with consistency among all the images, especially if you're pulling images from different sources or shot with different types of equipment, whether it's a professional grade camera or if it's a phone camera. Having a single filter that you apply to all the images can really help bring cohesion to your brand's aesthetic online. So it used to be that filters and presets went through many up and down kind of strong trends, and that some people applied filters and presets really heavy-handedly. So I'd encourage you to realize that you don't have to apply a filter or a preset at 100% opacity. You don't have to just apply it and then leave it alone. Maybe you have a filter that makes your whites look how you like it, or it makes it bright and airy, or it makes it dark and moody, but then you know the level to which you want it dark and moody. And so maybe you have a single preset that you use on Instagram all the time, but you just apply it at 12% opacity or 48% opacity, whatever works for your brand. But having consistency using those tools can really help you be able to utilize a wide number of sources of styled stock photos or photos from your camera and still be able to post them and have your feed look very coherent. All right, my third tip on bringing consistency to the images in your online presence, your feeds, and your website is to add your own designs to them. And designs, I mean that term really broadly. So whether it's adding your logo overlaid, whether it's adding actual designs if you're a graphic designer, whether it's adding screenshots if you're a web developer, any of those additions to style stock photos can really make the images mesh with your brand. Okay, my fourth tip is to utilize your classic editing tools. So adjusting your style stock images that you're bringing in by cropping them, by zooming them, and by rotating them. And really any source for style stock photos that are up to snuff are going to be providing you high resolution images. And what that means is that there are essentially enough pixels within the image that you can crop and zoom without losing image quality, without having grainy or fuzzy images, especially when you're using them in your online feeds. So try both cropping to have different orientations, vertical orientation, horizontal orientation, square. Also try zooming way in. See what happens when you zoom to 300% or 400% on an image, and then cropping and seeing what kind of new perspective you can take on a single image. And then after you've done that, try rotating and cropping, try rotating and zooming. And doing that can really help you be able to take a single image and transform it into 10 or more different but related images that are really usable within your Instagram feed. And my final tip on how to seamlessly integrate style stock photos into your online presence, into your feeds, into your websites, is to maybe start gradually. Maybe start just sprinkling images in. If you've never used professional photos before, or maybe you have, but it's only been sporadically, I would recommend not starting out with maybe 17 in a row of images that are stock images. Maybe start with 1 of 3 or 1 among 5, and just start sprinkling them in to gauge and to test out how comfortable you are, how often you want to post a stock image, how your audience responds, and what is really going to work best for you and your brand. And that's it. So if you want more tips, you can always head over to our blog, katemaxstock.com. We love to help basically wherever we can, and we love getting messages from you about your success, about how you're leveraging using and trying out styled stock photos to really help up-level your brand and increase your professionalism and just relieve a lot of your stress, saving you time, saving you money. We just love being a part of that. So get out there and kill it.